Okay, hello, my dear students. I am your very own Rahul Sir, and today I am going to teach you the chapter Trumpet of Swans for Standard 4, and the chapter number is also 4. Joking. This chapter is written by E.B. White. In this chapter, we will study about a boy whose name is Sam Beaver, about a cob, about a swan, and how this boy Sam Beaver saves the cob and the swan from a red fox. This is the first part. So, without any further delay, let's start, my dear students. Sam Beaver, an 11-year-old boy, was walking through a forest when he heard a loud trumpet. Trumpet is a kind of sound that basically comes out from a swan. Understood? Startled, he searched the woods and swamps till he found a big nest of two enormous trumpeter swans. Now, listening to the sound, this boy Sam Beaver actually was surprised. He was shocked. And he started searching everywhere. He searched in the woods. Woods means what? He searched through the forest, means the different trees of the forest. He searched in the swamps. Swamps means it is a muddy area. And finally, he found a nest of two enormous trumpeter swans. Enormous means very big, large. And he found a nest of two large trumpeter swans. Trumpeter actually is a breed of the swans. It's not the name. They are kind of swans. They are a variety of swans. Understood? Who sounds like trumpet. Trumpet actually is a musical instrument. And where was the nest? By a lonely pond in the middle of the forest. The nest was in a lonely pond in the middle of the forest. They were laying eggs. Means basically not the cob, but the swan was laying eggs. Cob actually is the masculine gender of swan. Sam was filled with wonder. Means he was very happy. He was very happy to see a very big nest of trumpeter swans. Why? Because he knew that trumpeter swans were very rare. Means they basically are in the verge of extinction. And when Sam Beaver saw the nest of two enormous trumpeter swans, he became very, very happy. He returned to the same spot a week later to watch the birds again. But the swan could also sense that an outsider was near. Means, after finding the nest of the trumpeter swans, Sam Beaver went off from the forest, and he returned a weeks later. Why? We will know in the upcoming parts of this chapter. Now coming to the main part. The swan had a strange feeling of being watched. Swan, I told you, is a female version of the trumpeter swans. So she had a strange feeling that somebody is actually watching them. She twisted and peered uneasily. Means she moved her body uneasily. Why uneasily? Because of this feeling of being watched. and gazed intently at the point of land that jutted out into the pond near the nest. As she was twisting, she gazed at the point of the land that basically jutted out, means the place where the land and the pond was meeting. Understood? Jutted means the place where the land and the pond was meeting. She started gazing there, searching for an intruder. What is an intruder? Intruder means a strange person, unknown person. Means she was peering, she was gazing towards the point where the land and the pond met. And what was she searching? She was searching for an intruder, means for a strange person, because of that strange feeling of being watched. Now, when she finally saw, surprised her. What she finally saw surprised her, means finally she was able to find Sam Beaver. And when she saw the boy, she was surprised. Why? Let's find out. There was a small boy sitting on a log. Log means basically piece of wood. She found that there was a boy who was sitting on a log. He was very quiet and he had no gun. Means what surprised her, that he was sitting quietly and he was not having any gun. Now, why is this line? Because according to the swans, according to the cob, whoever come to the forest, they had gun and they came to shoot them, to hunt them. And that is why their numbers are decreasing day by day. But Sam didn't came for that. He was sitting quietly and he had no gun. There's a boy on that log, the swan whispered to the cob. Means the swan told the cob about the boy. The cob was furious. Means the cob, after listening this, that there is a boy, there is a human being, he became very angry. How did he get here in the heart of the forest? Boys can't fly and there are no roads in the jungle, he shouted. The cob, as he became furious, he started asking the swan, how did he enter the forest? Because as far as I know, boys can't swim and there is no road through the jungle. Then how did he reach here? Maybe he's lost, said the swan quietly. Anyway, he's just observing us. Means the swan actually wanted to tell the cob that the boy is not disturbing us, so there is nothing to worry about it. He's just gazing at us. He's just observing us. But what if he throws stones at us? Said the cob. The cob asked a question to the swan. Okay, you are saying that he is observing us. But what if he throws stones at us? Just wait. I'll go and knock him cold with my wing. Now, cob actually wanted to harm Sam Beaver because as an animal, he didn't had that sense of smelling the nature of human beings. And he was quite afraid that the human being, means Sam Beaver, might harm them. Now, just wait. Don't start a fight, said the swan. The swan tried to condemn the cob and said, No, don't do anything. He will not do anything us. He's not bothering us all. Means he is not disturbing us at all. Anyway, I have started this nest and I'll go and lay a fourth egg now, said the swan. Means the swan said, don't worry, the boy is not going to harm us because he is not disturbing us, he is just gazing at us, observing us. And saying this to the cob, she went to lay the fourth egg. Means before these lines, she already laid 3 different eggs. Now, for the next hour, the cob paddled slowly around the tiny island, keeping watch. Keeping watch means he was paddling into the lake, into the pond, and he was keeping a watch both on the swan and the intruder, means Sam Beaver. Sam sat on the log, spellbound at the sight of these large water birds. After he had watched them for an hour, Sam got up and quickly left. The birds watched him go. Means, after watching for almost 1 hour, Sam also got bored and he went out of the forest. And the birds kept him watching that he is going. Sighing with relief, the swan left the nest and turned to look back. Means they were now free of any kind of tension, any kind of worries, because the intruder had left. They are lying safely on the soft feathers at the bottom of the nest were 4 eggs. She gazed at them proudly. Means after laying the 4 eggs, she covered it with warm feathers and she started gazing them proudly. Now, in the next part of this video lecture, my dear students, I'll tell you what happens after this, whether Sam Beaver returns or not, and if he returns, whether he harms them or not. Till then, thank you and have a good day. Bye.